Okay, the 4th annual Women's Defense League of New Hampshire annual gun rally has just finished. I'm standing here with Mark Hounsell, who is running for U.S. Congress in the 1st CD here in New Hampshire. I want to say right off the bat, thanks for spending a few minutes after the rally to talk with us.
Oh, you're more than welcome, Skip. I appreciate what you do. Informing the public is a big part of how a constitutional republic needs to operate.
Well, very good. So, the obvious question is, how are you going to be different than any of the other people running in the primary?
Well, I'm different from just about anyone who runs for anything, I think. In New Hampshire, my 3-4 decades of doing it, I have nothing but good things to say about my opponents in the primaries. They're good men, and I'm going to adhere to Reagan's 11th commandment. I have nothing but good things to say about them. I'm running because it is very important that New Hampshire take the opportunity in front of us in 2018 to elect a Republican to the seat. 2018 will set the stage for 2020 in Congress, and that's when they do redistricting. And you want to have a Republican in that seat when they redistrict Congress, I can assure you that.
Okay. There's lots going on in D.C., lots going on here in New Hampshire. What are you going to be able to bring down to D.C. that the others wouldn't? And how would you handle some of the kerfuffles that are going on down in D.C.? And are you going to add to the swamp or drain the swamp?
Well, the swamp is draining, I'm encouraged by it. Carol Shea Porter has seen the sense to leave, and that's a sort of draining. But water seeks its own level. You have to fill it with something. Once the swamp is drained, you need to replenish it. And that's what's in front of us now, the opportunity to bring someone in that's different, that's not going to be the same old, playing a national agenda that works oftentimes against the Granite State and the people of this state. So I think you need to have someone, we need to have someone who understands New Hampshire, who's from New Hampshire, who has 4 decades of working in government in New Hampshire, who can represent New Hampshire. And when I go there, they need to hear what New Hampshire sounds like, and when I get there, they'll hear exactly what New Hampshire sounds like. Well,
what is the top 2 issues that you believe need to be addressed down in D.C.?
There's a lot that can crowd the top 2, but you asked the top 2. I would say the first one would be, and I'm really looking forward, I hope I get the opportunity to ask the question, why do we need a federal Department of Education? I've spent a lot of time on school boards. In 1985, I was on the Senate Education Committee. I've been on 3 school boards, one in Newfound, twice in Conway. I'm on one now. And so I work with these issues, and I have to ask. The New Hampshire the Federal Department of Education began in 1980 under Jimmy Carter. They have 4,400 employees. They set policy to affect education. Since they've been in place, they've proven by their own efforts it's been a failed attempt. We've dropped from #1 educational in the world to, I think, around 14. That's always up to discussion, but there's no question that the intrusion, and I call it intrusion, of a central government dictating how we should educate our children has done severe harm. So this move that has begun in New Hampshire with Frank Edelblu and Governor Sununu under SB 193 to bring more local control to education to local communities is a good one, and I want to work on that. And I think the biggest impediment to us going forward is federal guidelines or regulations or mandates. And I think that everything, from what I can tell, everything that they can do, we can do better.
And your other issue?
My other issue is the obscene quest for money as people run for office and maintain office. I'm strongly for term limits. I've settled down on myself because it's open, but I think 8 years for a congressman or a member of Congress is enough. It's enough for a president. It should be enough for a congressman. And to be able to do that would relieve the pressure for congressmen to feel that they have to engage in the unseemly practice of dialing for dollars. They spend 30 hours a week raising money for the RNC or the DNC. That's ridiculous.
Well, very good. I appreciate you taking a little time with us.
I appreciate
Mark
it. Thank
Hounsell,
you.
running for the first CD here in New Hampshire. And stay in touch. And if you have something that you want to put up on Granite Rock, by all means, send it to us.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, Skip.
Bye-bye.
Croc TV.